couple of people that are in the know seem to think a lot of movement could happen tonight. Let's start with, how about we start with Baldy here? Brian Baldinger, who's not typically like a newsbreaker, right? Baldy just gives you his opinion. But he hears things, he knows people. Here's Baldy on something that could happen early in this draft tonight.
And you know, I get these premonitions when we get close to the draft. We're basically 48 hours away. I'm just telling you, I feel a blockbuster trade coming in the top 5. I kind of know what might happen. I'm just letting you know this is a tease. Like, it's coming. Be ready for it. This is not going to be a boring draft. We got a blockbuster trade coming. There's only so many great players in this draft. I don't know. Like, I feel it, all right? I might have to release it. I'm just teasing you right now.
So before you react to that, Hugh, I just want to point out last year, right before the draft, I remember I watched a video of Baldy where he said, you know, I think Michael Penix could be a Falcon. He was on that before anybody else.
So you're giving him his flowers
well,
a
I'm
little
saying
bit.
when
he says stuff, he's plugged in. I'm not going to lie. Baldy's been at this game for a long time.
And he picks his spots. He's not an everyday news guy, right?
Yeah.
But when he has something, I think he obviously has heard something for someone to move up in the top 5. What do you make of that?
Baldy, shame on Baldy for doing folks like that. He should have. If you're going to put it out there, Baldy, put it out there.
Oh, now you want to know what it is.
I know, because it's funny because he said he know. He kind of used semantics. He danced a little bit because he said he knows, but then he said he has a premonition, but then he says he might let it go. So, Baldy, you ain't right for teasing us like that. I think he does know something, but to move up that high, okay, say if it's the Eagles, because that's a team that we think he's more familiar with. Maybe
he's close with some of the guys.
Yeah,
on the team.
Yeah, he works out. I think he works out with Lane or whatever. Who would that be? I mean, the only person I can think of is Abdul Carter. That's it.
I'll give you one more.
To move up that high, who is you think would they take?
So I think Carter would be the one, the most likely one. I know you guys aren't as high on him as I am. Travis Hunter might be a special player.
I think Travis Hunter, I like his game, but Joe, the man, this is what the issue is for me. The man has already made it clear that if he doesn't play both ways, he's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. So you only pick him if you plan to play him both ways.
And here's the thing, Joe. Although I do believe he probably has the ability to play both ways, realistically, I don't think that's going to be able to happen because there's things in the NFL called game plans. And in order to run these game plans, you have to practice. Mm-hmm. How are you You got 3 good days of like real practices that you get. What, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, you scale it back a little bit because you're getting ready to play Sunday. How are you getting the work that you need to be as effective on both sides of the ball? That's the question that somebody has to figure out for me. Somebody that know way more football than I know to figure that out for me. And if he comes here and if he's not appeased in that way, that might be a problem.
So I get it, and I understand why there's some doubt. Sometimes people are special, and I think he just might be a special athlete. I mean, he played 700 snaps last year.
I'm not disputing that, Joe. I'm not, but
that's kind of concerning, actually.
Well, so I don't know if he's going to play 10 years, but he might give you 5 special ones.
But here's the thing. Offensive playbook, defensive playbook. Defensive playbook is like the one we had. It wasn't big, but it was nice size. You got to learn the offense and the defense.
I get it.
In one preseason, well, not one preseason, but one training camp in order to be effective.
What do you think will be easier for him to major? Let's say he's mostly this and then a little bit of that. Do you think it would be easier to play wide receiver with a little corner or play corner full time with a little wide receiver?
See, that's the thing, Joe. How much, like, the offensive playbook. I've never played offense. Let me say that first, but it feels like it's vast and it's extensive.
Do you think that has to be the full-time thing?
Well, not only that, Joe, because you have to know. You got to know the check downs. You got to know all the check downs.
Right.
You got to know all the call. You got to know as much as the quarterback. You got to know that in certain coverages, you might have to break your routes off and things of that nature.
Right.
That's a lot.
I get it.
That's a lot.
He's got bust written all over him.
Oh, I disagree.
Damn, that's strong.
I think he's got Hall of Fame written on him. Hall of Fame.
So we've thrown around the comps and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it was Greg Cosell breaking down his college tape. Mm-hmm. he made it sound like he's gotten by on being talented more so than being like a heady player at corner, which is supposedly his best position. You're not going to get away with that in the NFL. Like in college, you can get by on purely talent alone.
You need more technique.
And if you and it's going to be harder for him to get more technique, having to learn both sides of the ball. Playing too much is so risky, short shelf life, a lot more injury risk, and I don't think he's necessarily great at one thing regardless. I'm not feeling the Hunter thing at all. I'm declaring it right now.
Love him.
Bust.
Hall of Fame. So we're on both sides. Hall of Fame and bust. All right. Look, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how high the Eagles could go, what they'd be going for, but there are teams that are reportedly looking to trade down. How about this? I wonder, could Hugh Douglas be ahead of the curve here? The Saints, according to Jordan Schultz, have made calls about potentially sliding back from number 9 to acquire additional draft capital.
Tanner McKee written all over that one.
Believe they would then use those extra picks to trade back into the late first round. So they want out of 9, and then they'll come back in the end of the first round.
That is telling with a team that needs a quarterback.
Tanner McKee.
Doesn't that tell you? Well, I wouldn't. They probably not going to give up the 9, but that is telling that they're willing to move back in order to not get a quarterback.
The way this is worded, you know what team satisfies what they're trying to do? The Eagles. If their goal is to get out of 9 and then to get back into the first round to get a quarterback, the Eagles.
So that means what? 32.
Well, there's
for 9.
Well, and then we what else do we have to add?
Tanner McKee.
And we got to add.
Dallas got it.
They got to want some other picks, aren't they?
Well, and what, this 3rd and 4th pick or something like that? Maybe.
I'm trying to workshop.
This ain't my strong suit.
No, but ask AI. Maybe AI will help.
Hey, what would you give up, AI? What would you give up for Tanner McKee? I'm about to ask AI too.
Ask AI how much Tanner McKee's worth in the trade. Okay. I'm going to see what AI thinks about that.
I'm about to see.
All right. Can we
Speaking of, we got a listener submitted this to me on Twitter. They asked Google AI about the defense to luxury. No, defense is not a luxury in football. It's essential for winning. While a strong offense is crucial for scoring, a strong defense is equally important for preventing the opponent from scoring and for creating opportunities for the offense.
I hate to be that guy.
I'm backing on robots.
So now you're out on AI.
Well, no, but with all due respect, you tell that person to quote those stats on their show.
No.
And not on ours, because on this show.
It's too late. I just did it, buddy.
Well, it's a talk show. They get to talk too. They could just have your propaganda machine over here.
That's exactly what this is. Propaganda.
It says it would be relatively low given his contract situation and potential availability of other quarterbacks through free agency in the NFL draft. He has a 4-year contract with the Eagles, and the value of the trade would be influenced by factors like his performance, the team's needs, and potential for return on investment.
I'm going to put up a Twitter poll. Travis Hunter is more likely to be a Hall of Famer or a bust.
Well, there are more.
I'm gonna ask that. Since we on this whole AI kick, I'm gonna ask AI.
Okay, there are more busts than Hall of Famers, so you're gonna win this one. But I think he's gonna be special.